Hello, I am John Gordon and I have spent many years studying knowledge and developing better ways to study knowledge. I would like to try and make the case for knowledge study, and I would like to try and show that organisations have a great deal to benefit from studying their knowledge resource. The knowledge resource I am talking about in this case is the knowledge held and applied by people on behalf of the organisation. I would like to show that opening up this view of knowledge to managers will allow them to make better use of knowledge and allow them to develop it, protect it and deploy it more effectively. I hope you agree. The study of knowledge allows an organisation or an individual to learn more about the knowledge needed in order to carry out activities. Knowledge structure mapping is a method targeted specifically at the knowledge held and applied by people. Studying knowledge using knowledge structure mapping is a valuable thing to do because it makes sense to know more about this important resource. Of course, a claim like this needs to be justified, but it is still hard to deny the importance of knowledge. Not just importance, claiming that knowledge plays a key role in most human endeavours is a claim with substance. So the question, why would I want to know more about the knowledge needed in order to achieve things, seems easy to answer. Knowing more about the knowledge humans need and use in order to achieve things is part of understanding how to achieve things better. It is part of understanding how to help more people to be able to achieve those things. It is a way to uncover some of the hidden elements of knowledge which human experts know and use, but often fail to mention without some detailed study. So it is also part of understanding how one person can achieve something and another person cannot. Knowledge structure mapping provides a way to see knowledge and its structure in a way which is sympathetic to the way human experts acquire that knowledge. For organisations which are typically full of busy people who hardly have time to carry out their daily work, let alone make time to study knowledge, knowledge study might be a nice idea, but it's just not practical. We won't have time to study knowledge, and we are doing okay without it. Even if we did do it, what difference would it make to anything? Well, maybe there are at least two differences it would make. The first is that studying knowledge, and of course making the time available to do it, would help those involved to understand their knowledge resource better, and when they do, to liberate valuable ideas concerning the knowledge and its application. The second difference it would make is to allow others to see the knowledge which is being used and understand how this valuable resource contributes in no small way to the achievement of goals. Sharing a common view of knowledge facilitates constructive discussion and decision making. But there is still the issue of time. Things, even knowledge, can't be studied without devoting time to that activity. But the time is typically related to the cost of the human resource, and the human resource is typically seen as a cost, more than it is seen as a resource. People are nevertheless a resource, and really need to be valued by business in that way. Minimising cost is an easy justification, unless instead we say we should minimise available resources. Even better, if we could use less than the level we currently see as the minimum resource to achieve our goals, we would be more efficient. Using less than the minimum resource required is also a good way to fail. This point is easy to miss if people are seen as a cost rather than a resource. Yet the issue of time is still there. It will still take time to study knowledge, which in turn translates into a cost. So there is no hiding the fact that studying knowledge will represent a cost. If we are to study our knowledge resource, the things which people need to know in order to carry out activities effectively, we will need people to do the studying, and they will need time and need to know how to do it. Added to that, we will need our experts to spare a little of their time to cooperate with the knowledge study. The argument that this would not contribute directly to the bottom line is not valid. It would be more correct to say that it is not easy to see a direct link between knowledge study and the bottom line. Yet people applying the knowledge they hold is the process which allows an organisation to function. It is not an optional extra. Minimising the human resource in order to achieve maximum profit is to move the business or organisation closer to the fail line. The fail line is the point at which the organisation becomes so lean that it no longer functions well enough to survive when confronted with unforeseen problems. Some would argue that the goal of good business management is to sail as close to the fail line as possible without crossing it. In this way, the organisation maximises profit, delivers a service, and minimises cost. But this is one particular and possibly perverse view of business. Businesses and organisations are not there simply to make a profit for a few. They sustain communities. They provide families with food, clothing, housing, and the general capability to live well. They provide reasons for people to learn and develop. They provide reasons to have good ideas, and they provide a path for young people to progress along and goals for them to achieve. In all of these things, knowledge is a key feature. If the aim is to make maximum profit and minimise cost at the expense of all other things, then there is probably no point trying to justify reasons for an organisation to study knowledge. But if the aim is to create a resilient, vibrant and robust organisation which succeeds in all of its broad goals, including those which acknowledge community responsibilities, then a much better case can be made for that organisation to study knowledge. The justifications mentioned earlier relate to understanding how things are achieved, how things can be improved, how more people can achieve, and why some people might fail to achieve. The justifications relate to innovation, but they also relate to sustaining present successes and understanding current difficulties. Studying knowledge through knowledge structure mapping is a focused, well-controlled activity which includes eliciting the views of experts in a controlled and consistent way. This creates a way of analysing the knowledge resource and identifying knowledge areas which need attention. Seeing the knowledge resource within the context of its providers, people, and how they both learn and deliver this resource is also valuable. Seeing the knowledge resource requirement change over time, and seeing this within the context of the time needed to acquire knowledge, can be one of many additional benefits of knowledge study. But the real benefits of knowledge study come from the thought used to carry out that study. It would not be easy to try to predict the insights gained by participants in a knowledge study, only to say that experience over many years has shown these to be considerable. From the manager, who after following the study process and inspecting the results, now knew why an earlier business merger attempt had failed, to the business leader, who saw just how much value was contained within a part of the knowledge resource, that he immediately began protecting it from competitors. So why would we choose not to study our knowledge resource? It might take time. It will require the allocation of resources. We might not use the results, and it might not lead directly to more profit or reduced cost. Are there any reasons left to justify the study of knowledge? We will devote time and effort to this important resource. We will make sure that we do use the results, and more than that, we will integrate the knowledge view into our decision-making processes. We will use our knowledge of the knowledge resource to navigate ourselves to a safe distance from the fail line and properly discharge our responsibilities to all organisational stakeholders. In this short presentation, I have attempted to show just how important knowledge and people are to organisations. In saying this, I don't mean how important people are and how important knowledge is. I mean how important people combined with knowledge is. People are both holders and appliers of knowledge, and it is this combination of people and knowledge which delivers business services. So what I have attempted to do by discussing knowledge study is to show just how important it is for organisational managers to understand this most valuable of resources and to make decisions which will protect, develop and deploy it more effectively. Thank you for listening.